All right. Um, these are our products we use. The two I recommend you really do is the Easy Track and the Quality Term. Because when you go start to the test drive, it's going to let you create a case and do an app so you can see exactly what it looks like for all the products we're going to write. So that way, when you're going in, right, and you're helping families, you're not like, hey, I don't know what this is. The other thing you can do, right, um, it tells you, hey, right, like, don't like, this isn't a real app, like, don't put real info in per se. But one of the things we want you to be able to see is what like it's going to feel like when you go through. You want to know what the client is going to feel like, right? You want to know what their experience is. So as they're going through, it's there. Because one of the other spots, just so you guys know, in the underwriting guide, in the guide father, okay, one of the things it does have is if you're in there, if you click on this, it will also show you what the client is looking at, right? Like, hey, this is what the application looks right. This is where you're going through. This is what they're going to see. This is what they have to do. Okay. So they built this for every carrier, right? So, like Americo, part one, if we're doing an Americo app, as you go through, like Americo, easy, get 6-digit codes. Transamerica, easy, 6-digit codes. Everyone else, not easy. So, right, like it, but it shows them like, hey, because here's what happens. People go in and they're like, I'm clicking it, I'm clicking it. I'm like, I don't need you to click anything. You don't have to open anything else. They can and see the forms, but literally, right, validate, go in, view forms if they want to see them. But all we need to keep going is that 6-digit code. All right. You get that twice. Americo makes it super easy. But a lot of the companies we use iPipeline. Okay. I.e., Mutual of Omaha. All right. Everybody on this call, we all use Mutual Omaha. We write Mutual Omaha. We use their accidental if we're not there. Right. As you're going through, if you click on those, right, it'll show you what you can do. Okay. Hey, as we're going through, example, they have to click these blue boxes in these view apps before they can agree to sign it. Okay. Like that's really important is as we're going through and we're looking at different things like, hey, how does this look? Where does that go through? Um, but literally pretty much every carrier that we have, they've put those in there. What's AMAMs look like? What's F&Gs look like? What's Foresters look like? Don't worry, we're killing John Hancock. Transamerica is the FE Express. They don't have that yet, but again, it's a 6-digit pin. That one's really, really easy. But you have the ability to go through and see essentially what our core carriers are going to look like. Go do it so you know. Because the other side you have the ability to do is we have this crank wheel. Okay. Um, I got to sign back in because I'm signed out right now. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh. And I haven't used this week, so it's got me signed out. Hold on. Literally, what this lets you do, stop. All right, is you can share a browser tab, full screen, webcam, whatever. But what I will do with clients, if they can't figure it out, I'll be like, hey, okay, here's what you're going to see, right? I open it up on a tab. I go say, hey, I'm going to share it, right? Boom, clank wheel, blah, 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 right? Confirm tab, right? Boom. There you go. You can go program window. Yep. Hey, what do I want to share? Right. And I go like crank wheel share. Right. And then it's literally you can send them to their number and they can look at your screen as you're sharing on the phone. Okay. Crank wheel is an amazingly useful tool we have at this company that you should be using because this is what it's going to see when they get the offer. Hey, accept the offer. Jim, congrats, right? Like, what is it going to look like? How much it's approved for, where it's going, the billing, they accept the offer, right? Like everything they have to do. Okay. Um, they're not going to get to do a credit card anymore. Like the credit card thing is gone. So don't don't worry about that. They can make the first payment on it, but they have to put an EFT in, right? But again, as you go through, everything's there, right? It's going to show exactly what it looks like, but you can share it. So if you have somebody that's older that can't figure it out, right? If you want to go in and see like, hey, right, like I'm trying to get them to sign the accidental death policy and they got to approve it, I can share it with them. Hey, this is what it's going to look like. Here's the pin. You got to review these applications, right? Scroll through, then it turns yellow. I agree, right? Then you can select them. It literally will take you through, but you can show this how to do. So if you text that number, they open up the link, they will literally see your screen, right? So as you go through, use Crankwheel. It is an incredibly helpful tool to become like to work with clients on, especially older clients. Okay. My first policy I wrote here, I spent 2 hours and 21 minutes with that woman on the phone. I know her name. I know where she lives. Sweetest woman. She could not figure out how to sign that Mutual Omaha policy. Like an hour and a half of it was her trying to just figure out how to open that up and do this. So make sure you take like advantage of that, some of those tools that we have there. But again, back on here in Navigator, Learn Demo E app, right? And for those of you that are building, take your team through there, go through it, say, hey, this is how we do it. Here's how you practice it. You want to test drive it so you can go through and learn how to do these things. Okay. It's super duper important. Again, if people are asking, I don't write the American Amicable. This, you basically got to be term healthy to get it. Not really worth my time. If you are going to do UHL, you can test drive it through there as well. I go to Transamerica, but again, go to your upline for that. But that's like super duper important is you want your client experience to be smooth. But if you don't know what it looks like, how are they going to know what it looks like? Right? Like as they're coming through, what is it, what's it going to look like and what's it going to show there? So there's that. All right. Does everybody understand how to get to the live lead inventory and actually see where the inventory is? Like not just buy the leads, but see the actual like whole live thing, like you're looking at the whole map. Has everybody seen that? Figured it out? Do we know where it is? I don't see like a lot of, I don't see enough yeses. All right, let's share that. Okay, great. So one of the things, once you find it, just bookmark it. It'll make your life way easier. Okay. So down here in leads, right? Quality leads, right? You're like, hey, there's all this info. Where does it take me? It explains everything to you, right? What do we want to do? We want to go to here, lead stream. One-time lead order. Okay. This is where we've asked them to make it bigger and bolder so people see it. If you look closely, this is like in bold green. This is actually a live hyperlink. This is the hyperlink to go see what's available in the whole US for bonus leads. It's a weird looking spot. It doesn't show great, right? So that's why I wanted to show everybody here. So then you can go in and go, okay, hey, right? Alabama has 1,400 CIHs, right? Like, it's there, right? 486. So, and if you want to look at it bigger, just blow up your screen resolution. Okay. That's like if you need to see it bigger, if you want to look at it, there's options there. Okay. But that has everything we have. This is constantly seeing live inventory go out, but this is where you can go find it. Okay. And all I did is I just bookmarked this now, right? Once it's there, it's bookmarked. So again, you're in lead stream, right? One-time lead order. It's this button right here. So as you go through, it's there. Hey, My buddy Sam's here. All right, he made it.
Hey, I was going to tell you, I talked to Alex Dowlin, and you probably know this too, and I just jumped on. Thanks for your patience there. But he said the live inventory is usually 2 hours behind right
Okay.
now.
Yep.
So if you guys see it there and then you go in and you're like, where the heck are the leads? They've already been purchased.
Yeah. So they're working on it. So it's there. Um, but yeah, like just again, if you want to see what's there, if there's 1,400 in some place, there's a good chance you're going to get them. If there's seven, they might not be there. So, all right, I was just showing them um, where that was. I was showing everybody, hey, make sure you're going through Navigator and doing test drives on the apps on, banners on SBLIs, on UHL, on how to do those things so they know where they are. Uh, Mrs. Tipton, who never raises her hand during a sales call, I would love to hear what you have to say.
Okay, really quick for social media. Can everybody turn on your cameras? Let's get your phones out. Let's take a quick story. Everybody should be doing this, and then we show that we're all showing up for this call and also um, be a nice story to put on your own social media. So take advantage of that. Everybody, please take off, turn on your cameras. Please get like a full screen. I should just turn off. Let's see. Come on, everybody. All right, everyone, take out your cameras. Let's all do take a story. All right. For those of you who are new to this social media stuff, I'm referring to Instagram or Facebook. If you don't know, you now you know. All right, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it. You can do wave, make a funny face, make a video, boomerang, however you want to do it. Of course. All right, guys. Me.
You guys are on calls like all day, every day. Like there's just free content to post. Like I don't even post myself. Like I recorded like Sarah and Jim and them on the national call yesterday. Just here's a quick story, right? You're getting leadership development. Remember, social media is your billboard that we don't have to pay for. It's your realtor bus stop. Everybody sees it, like take advantage of it, put something up and go from there. All right, Mr. Fine.
Yes,
So
sir.
you and I were having a conversation earlier this week, and we're like, we need to talk about that. Like we
Yeah,
should
we
have
do.
we should have that combo. So I'm gonna let you tee it up here for everybody.
All right. We've always had great combos, but the one that I'm thinking of that we had was around show ratio.
Yep.
Trevor, I don't know if you guys have ever seen him produce, but he's probably one of the best producers Symmetry has. This guy could go out there and write 20, 30K in a week if he wanted to. And what's very impressive though about Trevor is his stance on the phone and how he gets so many people to show up to his appointments. And one of the biggest struggles for a new agent, especially in the beginning, is what? Booking appointments and getting them to show up. If you can increase your show ratio by 25%, that means you're going to have way more money in your bank account than you would if you didn't do that. So we want to use this call today and leverage the wisdom of Trevor to talk about how we can increase your show rate. Before we do that, why don't you post it in the chat? What is your current show rate percentage? Meaning, out of all the clients you book, what percentage of them show up? Let's fill up the chat and see what we got.
And if you don't have this number, you need to make sure you're tracking it. This is the most important. Like this is probably the one of the I would say top two numbers you have to know and track. Yep. So to give you guys an idea, when I started here my first month, my show rate was 11%. And I have 20 plus years of sales experience, but there's a learning curve. You have to get them to show up. Okay. What kind of leads you work? Average. So the average show rate for a digital lead within, if you book it within 24 to 48 hours is 40%. Okay. So if you're around 40%, you're getting people to show up. That's just the average show rate today because it's so much easier to no show. Okay. So it also depends on what kind of leads you're working, what system you're working. If you're brand new and working low end bonus leads, your show rate's going to be way, way lower. Okay. As you work into newer leads, your show rate's going to be way, way higher.
Yep.
I think, but tracking that is like super important. So it's good if you know what it is. So, well,
Well,
and
let's
I want to say this real quick. And
yeah.
congrats, you're officially an agent. You got your first no show. Welcome to the team.
Doesn't that feel good? Helen Griffin's 90%. My gosh, Trevor, we should take a back seat to Helen.
Yeah.
That's
Well, make
crazy.
Helen talk in public too. That would be fun. Her favorite thing to do.
So let's talk about psychology behind it real quick. Why do you think a client no-shows you? Flood the chat. Why do you think a client no-shows you? Okay.
Doesn't see value. Soft book. Forgets or has plans. Yep. Purpose. Tie down. Not enough emotion. Yeah. Don't see the value. Not emotion. Yep. They're cheap. That could be true also. Don't want to spend money. You don't seem busy enough. I actually love that answer, Trace. That's a good thing. Um, and yep, not a big enough need, feel pressure. Yeah, I think all of that's true. Like, I think all of the, yeah, tone on the phone, tone and pace, tone and pace, tone and pace, tone and pace um, is everything. Um, how many of you are actually trying to build emotional connection on that first call versus just setting the appointment? Like, are you just trying to get through the script because you feel like you don't know everything yet? Or are you like, hey, I'm going to go make a friend here? Like, I'm going to try to like get to know a little bit about them, emotionally spend time with them. That is, I am going to, as quick as I can now, I'm going to talk about digital leads here, right? I'm not talking about, right, working CIH leads. Okay. Two very different styles, but I'm working digital leads. Okay. You can't rush through that initial call. And I, right, on these type of digital leads, I don't one call close a lot. I set a lot more appointments. I also personally set a lot of appointments via text now, right? If clients could get quotes through text, they would. They're right. We have to get around that because I need them on the phone because they're not buying over text.
Mhm.
But as they go through, yeah. So I think Chris said it right. Too nice on the call. Example: are you willing to say no when they're like, "Well, I can meet then"? I'm like, "No, I can't." What? I was like, I literally have an appointment tomorrow that the lady was trying to schedule me for next week. And I said, no. She's like, what? I'm like, listen, I'm taking Wednesday off. It's Thanksgiving and I'm booked. I'm like, I don't, and I literally, here is my posture though. If they try to schedule out more than 48 hours, I don't do that. And they go, what do you mean? Like, they'll literally ask me, what do you mean? I go, I don't schedule out over 48 hours. If you can't commit to getting on the phone with me in the next 48 hours, they're not showing up anyways. They're not coming to the thing. So I tell them my calendar, I only allow it to book out 48 hours because I'm too busy with too many people. And I'm not lying when I say that. Like, I have too much on my plate. But when you sit down with them, that posture of saying, no, I'm the professional. This is when I'm available. Let's also, and I'll tell them, hey, I work weird hours. I got to work around, my client schedules. I don't work a regular normal hours, but I only book out within 48 hours, like unless there's an extreme circumstance. That posture increases my show rate tremendously, right? Because if someone puts you out a week or two, the reality is they're probably not coming unless there's a very specific job situation that allows them to not do that.
Yeah, that's so good, Trevor. And I think that's a huge important thing to remember for agents. Even same day appointments are really powerful. Because if you think about this, who has an Amazon shopping cart?
Yep.
Okay. Who's ever put stuff in your Amazon shopping cart and you thought it was a good idea to buy, but you left it there and you go back 2 days later and you were like, I don't really know if I want that anymore.
Yep.
Same thing with digital leads. When they drop, they're in a buying mood. And if you push out that conversation, especially more than 24 hours, in my opinion,
Yep.
that it's like a client sitting in an Amazon cart and they're like, maybe I don't really want to do this. Then they start talking to their friends. I made this request online, talking to a guy, and they're like, why are you doing it online? And like who knows what kind of conversations they're having behind the scenes, but you want to be like Johnny on the spot when those leads drop. It's the same psychology anytime you want to buy something, like, walk in the store, you see something you like, you're gonna buy it. It's the same kind of concept. And so the further you delay that conversation with them, less likely they're going to buy from you.
And what does Amazon do when you leave something in your cart and you haven't bought it? They follow up with you. They
Yep.
push emails at you. Hey, this is in your cart. Don't forget about it. Like that's what texting and calling them. Hey, you asked for this information and it's there. So Brendan, I 100% disagree with that statement. People buy from who they like and trust. You can do that while still being a professional. So I think you have to have the rapport, but here's where it matters. I just want to know what their why is. Why are they there? Who are they trying to protect? And making them like really dig into it. If they don't if they don't really give me a strong why, I won't stop. Like I won't let it go. Well, it goes back down to them, right? Um, as they're going through, hey, well, you want to protect your kids. What do you want it to do for your kids? Favorite statement. Tell me more about that. And then let them tell you more. Oh, and then what do we have after this? And what else? If you are doing all the talking and they're not, they're probably not going to show up.
Okay.
Right? Like there's a good chance if you're doing most of the talking, they're not going to show. Even on a bonus lead, hey, when you first reach out, what made you reach out? I don't know. Oh, well, somehow to make you reach out. Did you lose someone? Have you had to bury anybody recently? See a GoFundMe on Facebook? And then I let them answer, right? Like, and if they kind of me again, I'm going to ask it again. No. Tell me, like, this is important to me. I need to know your why. And I'll tell them I need to know your why and want to understand. I want to make sure this is worth my time also. And they'll be like, what? I'm like, worth your time? Yeah. Like, I'm a professional. I have a big agency. We help, our brokerage helps thousands of families a week. I need to make sure that you're serious about this because I don't want to have another family I didn't protect because, you got on my schedule and didn't come in. So that posture, how do you get that? It's there. But what's the great feeling is being able to produce enough that you can take that posture that you're not desperate to get them to show up. And if they're not the right fit, like I don't want to sell a policy just to sell it. I don't want to slam them through and then they're going to back charge me in 2 months anyways. Like I don't want to just do that. I want to understand that's there. And here's why. When I'm having that conversation, I'm doing a couple things. I want their beneficiaries' names. I'm going to say their beneficiaries' names as many times as I possibly can. Hey, Bob, I'm glad you guys want to protect Jason, right? Jason, or hey, Mary, we want to make sure Dave is protected, whoever the beneficiaries are, you want to be able to hot button that name as you're, in that appointment with them. It really matters. So as you're going through and what you're doing, so like let's define something. This is a good one, Micah. There's a difference between being nice and professional and being almost a pushover. We don't want to let them push us over. Okay. And you're going to get 5 to 7% of the people that are just get to the point. I just want a number. Just give me a number. I don't care what it is. I'm a business decision. But that's like 5 to 7% of the people. I want to know what originally got them to reach out and ask for information. Most people are reaching out because they had something in their life happen, whether it was directly related to them or someone in there. Okay. Right. So nice isn't, there's nothing wrong with being nice. It's the exact opposite. I think you should be very nice. Most people don't deal with people that are too nice. But when you call and open up, do you do the standard, hey, how are you today? Do we do that? No, I don't ask that. My favorite thing to ask is, hey Debbie, you been working on anything, interesting lately? Done anything interesting? And guess what? You're going to find out something about them. They're going to be like, oh, hey, I build Legos with my kid in competition, or I play pickleball, or we just took a cruise, or now I'm a hermit and I don't like anybody, right? Like you're going to find something out about them. Okay. You're going to get some kind of that. So, and then they stop and think, have I done anything interesting lately? Have I been working on anything interesting? And then sometimes I'm like, not really. I'm like, come on, you might not think it's interesting, but I might find it fascinating. Tell me about that. Right? Oh, tell me about that. What do people like to do? People like to talk about things they're passionate about. So get them talking about something they're, passionate about. Example, I know Kristen Blankenship loves anime, right? And, things of that nature. Okay. So I know that because I've got to know her. But if she hears someone, right? If someone on the phone says, oh, I just went and saw this new anime movie that came out, do you think that's going to make it easier for her to connect with them? For sure. Right. If Lizzie's talking to people in Utah where she lives, right? And they're like, oh, hey, it's season. Where's your season pass at? Right. She can talk to them about it's about finding that common ground to connect with them on. Okay. Like, say you don't ski. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. I've never done, like, if you've never done, I've never done that. I would love to come to Utah and come there someday. And they're going to be like, oh, you should come here. Like when you stay, like it's the best. What if they're passionate about it, it's going to go down that route, right? Like Steve O'Brien might be like, hey, I just invented a new beard cream and beard oil I'm trying to sell online or whatever it is. I don't know what they're going to say, but people are doing all kinds of stuff, right? But you want to find that commonality with them, and it's there. But tell me more about that, is you're asking them to like get to know you, and it's okay to do that. So when you hear make a friend and like really go down that route, it's something I do. I spend a little more time on that first call setting up them to get into their why, setting them up to really not just slam them into an appointment, but to say, hey, this is why we want to do this. Because if they don't have their why, the first time something breaks in their house or on their car and they got to make an extra payment, guess what payment's getting missed? This one. But if they have a really strong why, that's not going to get there. But you have to get it on that first like call and then really drill it through that process. And then here is something I started doing earlier at the beginning of this year. It works really, really well once an appointment's booked. Okay. As I'm booking the appointment, I'm going to be like, hey, Debbie, we've locked it down. Hey, we're confirmed for it tomorrow. You're going to get some automation text from me to make sure you show up. Cause listen, I get everybody's life super busy these days, including mine and yours. But what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to type back confirmed when you get that message. So I know you got it and that you're for sure going to be able to make it. Can you do that for me? Okay. And they're going to say yes. They're going to be like, sure, absolutely. But here's what you're going to do that morning if you don't have that thumbs up or confirm text from them. Hey, Debbie, I wanted to make sure I never got that thumbs up or confirm from you. And I'm looking at my schedule today. I just want to make sure that we are confirmed from that time. Otherwise, I'm going to need to move you to another time slot because I can fill that with another family that is committed to showing up. Right. So I'm going to have to move you if I don't get that. And they're like, oh my gosh, yes, 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 right? When they're coming, hey, sorry, I'm coming. That's how they respond. Like, oh, hey, yep, absolutely, I'll be there, right? They're going to tell you, hey, I'm not missing this. And then if you don't get that response, you were getting no showed first thing in the morning, anyways. Okay. So, or what you're going to get more of is, hey, I do need to reschedule. Okay, well, we need to pick a time that we both can commit to. Okay, that right there. We both need to pick a time we can commit to. But again, that morning, I'm not just letting Calendly do it. They're going to get a text from me if they haven't done it. What I get now is most people shoot me that confirmed or the thumbs up. Hey, confirmed, I'm coming, because I'm serious with them about it. Like, hey, this is there, and here's what we have access to. We also have access to products that not everybody else has. Okay. So again, walk through it one more time. You've said it, they got the text, and they haven't responded. They haven't sent you that confirm or thumbs up, right? Trace, hey, it's first thing in the morning. We're confirmed, we were committed to 2:15 this afternoon. I haven't heard back from you that you're confirmed to coming. If I don't hear from you within the next hour, I'm going to move another family into that time slot. And then we can both pick a time later that we both can commit to. And again, like, they're either going to be like, no, I'm coming. Don't not come, or they're not going to show up. Yep.
Yeah.
I do. So I do, Sam, on that.
Cool.
And
Can
we're
I ask
getting
a question?
okay. Yep. Ask away.
If they don't respond, do you call them anyway?
They're not showing up anyways.
But do you try to call at that appointment time or no?
No. Like, I literally will text them at that hour. Hey, I get life. I'm going to take the pressure off of them now. Hey, Debbie, I get life gets in the way, right? I get it. Let's figure out a time we both can commit to, because I know this is important to you. Does later today work better, or first thing tomorrow morning? But I'm going to fill that slot on my schedule. And then if they're not, so they're going to do two things. If they're not responding, they weren't showing up to the appointment anyways. If they are, they're responding. It's either, yes, I'll be there. Yes, let's do it later. Or, yes, let's do it first thing in the morning. But especially on the digital lead, you'll get them to commit. But I want to take the pressure off of them, right? To say, hey, I get life gets busy, because it might be, right? Like, hey, I got a family emergency. This happened, whatever it is. But I want people on my calendar that are committed to coming.
Like Kelly Bush talked about this morning, like, you got to have some self-esteem too. Who believes that they are the best insurance agent out there? Show of hands. Ooh. So why would someone want to meet with you? Now, you can borrow my confidence because I believe you are. I believe you're the best agent out there. You may not know every product and every writer and know how to pivot with every objection, but if I were to get my client in front of Walnetta, I know that they're going to be taken care of, that they're going to get the best service. If I get a client in front of Marcy or Bradley or Diane, I know that they're going to get the best. You have to believe that about yourself. So I love the posture of what Trevor's talking about, because listen to this. And I've said this to clients before, I have a lot of other clients that really need to meet with me and would like to talk to me today. If you can't meet with me at this time, that's okay. We'll get you rescheduled, but I'll have to have another client meet with me. Like, clients want to work with people that are in high demand. With one appointment on your calendar, you may not feel like you're in high demand, but you'll get there. And even that posture of like, these people, like, I have a lot of clients that want my help. And if something comes up, that's okay. Guys, we work with so much grace and so much like kindness here. It's not like if you don't show up, you're not going to get help. But it's more like, hey, there are a lot of other people that really want my time. And I can't schedule time for you if you're not going to be there, because you're taking away from somebody else that needs my help. And that's the posture you want. That's the mentality you want. If you don't believe you're the best, it's okay. Work on that self-esteem, build that confidence up, but you want to communicate that. Communicate that with your words, with your actions, because, and I've told Trevor this before, Trevor agrees with me, the best restaurants are the ones that are fully booked and the ones you have to get a reservation for. weeks in advance. The best doctors are the ones that are like, hey, we can't fit you in this week, but we can do it next week sometime. Maybe. Let me see if we can get you squeezed in. Those are the people that you want to do business with. Same thing for your clients. They want to work with people that are busy, that have time restraints. And it always comes down to you creating that sense of, a self-esteem and your and belief. Like in the beginning, you want people to show up because what does that mean? A family gets protected and you close a deal and you get paid commission. But what that communicates to the client is you have commission breath. It really does. And I found like the more that I am just tight with my schedule and tight with my times, the more people I help. Because clients know when they're being chased. They know. They know when you want it more for them than they want it for themselves. And almost like a deterrent for them. They're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to meet with that person.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I think that's such a good example. And for the new agents, you already know more than all of them. Okay. Like, you know more, even though, like, you listen to me and Sam, you're like, I don't know that much. Correct. But I don't know as much as Jason Ditson or Brian Pope. Like, they've forgotten about more about insurance than Sam and I will ever know combined. And that's okay. I don't have to be there, but I know enough to be successful. But you have to say that. And if you tell your, like, if you continue to tell yourself, like, I am such a big affirmation guy because of how I believe our brains are truly wired. You have to really understand how much that matters. Okay. What kind of, like, right? Like, what kind of mechanic do you want to go see? Do you want to go see the mechanic to fix your car? That's like, oh yeah, get down here right away. I'll get you in right now. Or do you want the mechanic that you know is going to do great work at a fair price, but he's busy? Why is he busy? Because he's a great mechanic. Okay. Like Sam just said, the best restaurant you can't get into, right? They're booked, they're busy. Okay. I think that posture we're scared to take. Because guess what? Most agents aren't taking it.
yeah. And
I
it works with digital leads, it works with bonus leads.
Yep. Yep. 100%. Like that's super, like that just super matters. So it's a it's a it's a mindset, but you have to Christmas. Oh, got jokes. Yeah,
I think we would probably choose
yeah.
Mel with Christmas.
Bella's world class at it, by the way.
I was just showing, right, the different varieties of like how people make decisions, right? And the sense of like they just mentioned like there's other SMEs, right? You don't have to know everything, right? I know an idea of how you to change a tire. However, will I do it? No, not really, right? Trevor has opinions about Christmas decor. Will he do it? No, because I would totally take over because I'm the SME in that. So everyone has a specialty, everyone has something they're great at, right? Just leverage your strengths, lean on others for your weaknesses, right? That's so great about what everyone here can do. So you don't need to know everything, and everyone says it. We don't need to know everything. You just need to leverage what you're good at and leverage the SMEs on your weaknesses. And then they can help you close things too. Your mentor can help you close. Simple as that.
Yeah. And Trevor could probably help me with my language here because he's the pro at this. Who's ever asked a client to do you a favor when you're booking an appointment?
Ooh, ooh, that's my one. Like, you can't. Oh, that's like, right. But it's easy to say. Like, it's such an easy. Hey, can you do me a favor, Sam?
Yep. What I will tell clients is, so I don't know how you, because usually I used to be like, can you do me a favor? Can you save me on your calendar? No, that's probably not the right way to say it, Trevor. So how would you say that?
Um, So we're at there. So
So
Sam,
we've already booked the appointment. They chose
mhm.
8:15 tonight. We're wrapping up the call. I want to do one last tie down. What do I say?
Sam, I know protecting Marissa and your family is super important to you. I'm going to commit to showing up on time and making sure I'm ready with those options I promised you. Can you promise me that you're going to
Ooh.
show up undistracted and ready to go?
Can you promise me? I
That's my
like that
go-to
better.
line is can you promise me?
Write
Because
that down, guys.
no one wants to break a promise.
Ooh, we're gonna change it. I'm gonna change my language. See, I learned something new. You guys gotta show up to every call because you always learn something. I knew Trevor had the answer for me. Can you promise me that you're gonna show up for this appointment?
Yep. Right.
That's
So
powerful.
because then what happens if they do no show? When I text them, hey Sam, as promised, I'm showing up to our appointment right now if they're not coming. Okay. But I'll also, you want to let them off the hook. I get life gets busy, but I want you to know I'm someone that always keeps my promises. When's it time we can get back together? Right? Like, I don't want, like, I want them to feel guilty, but I want them to be like, okay, left me off the hook the first time. Okay. But people don't want, if you make a promise to someone, you're going to keep it. Right. I'm asking them, hey, can you promise to show up to make sure Marissa and your family's protected? What's he gonna say? No? Like if they're gonna say no, you don't want to do the appointment with them anyways.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, I hope you took notes on that. That was worth the admission for today. Trevor, that's so good. Trevor, do you have any like text conversations or dialogues where you have like from a texting standpoint of like tying down an appointment that you pull up?
Yeah, I actually have like all of that in a doc. I'll post a link.
Ooh, yeah, post a link.
Um,
That'd be great.
yeah, it's actually in the hub we built, so that'll be launched hopefully by over the weekend. So everybody that's in the Tipton, you know, fine boatman agencies, we've built something pretty cool for you guys with a lot of these resources in there that you'll have access to. And even if you're not, just message me, like you can get access to it. But yeah, I have that templated out. um, um, I say, do you mind? Yeah. So Sophie, do you want to be a little vulnerable and unmute? Are you in a spot you can unmute, Sophie?
Yeah.
All right. So if I asked you, do you mind going outside and picking up my dog's poop? You're probably
Very
gonna
much.
say very much so, right? Like, right? Like you're probably gonna say yes. I am not picking up your dog's poop, right? It's a little extreme, but like let's role play through. Do you mind? Okay. What gives that psychology of do you mind?
I feel like it's the ease of I've been telling them what to do. I feel like throughout the entire process, it just kind of, I don't know, cuts the conversation. I don't know. I guess dulls the corners of what I've been kind of telling them what to do. It's more of the do you mind replying yes to that automated text message? And then I say, because it doesn't allow, my assistant or anyone to self book on my calendar, and ensures that that appointment is for us and us alone. I say that. Or do you mind grabbing a pen and paper so that you can write down the time that I've stated? And I just say stuff like that. But is that
So I don't
too?
mind the pen and paper one. Like that's okay. Like that's a spot you can use that. But instead of do you mind, like a much better posture is, hey Sophie, this is really important info here. Go grab a pen and paper because I want to make sure you have my correct information.
That's much better. Yeah.
Like I want to make sure it's like, hey, I want to make sure you have all my information correct. And I know it's easy to lose, but I'm teeing it up with, hey, I know this is important to you here, right? Versus, do you mind? Like, essentially, you're asking them to do you a favor,
Hmm.
okay? Right? Like, you're saying, hey, favor wise, like, I need a favor with this, right? And that's like the last thing we want to do is, go like go try to get like essentially a favor out of them. So because then it's like they're like they're gracing us with their presence. And frankly, the posture needs to go back to earlier. They want someone that you want them to understand is they have someone that's a professional that's there to serve them.
Now that I think about it, do you ever say, do you mind when you're asking them kind of uncomfortable health information? Do you mind if I get your weight, your height, and your weight?
I never say, do you mind? That is not a vocabulary that comes out. So let's role play that one. I'll be now talking to guy versus girl. Okay. Man versus woman. I ask the height and weight very differently. So to a lady, I'll be like, Sophie, I promise I'm a gentleman, but I need to know your height and weight here.
Okay.
Right. Like I make a little joke out of it.
Or my mama would hate me to ask you this question.
Yeah, love that one, right? Yep.
I guess I'm just struggling between like there's such a different, stance you could take on your diction between professional but also like a little bit laid back to where you have that trust but also professionalism to where I'm trying to find this like cheeky like do you mind if suit and tie but also like casual. I've gotten to know the rapport, friendly. It's just such a tight rope, and you guys have gotten so good at it over the years of doing this. Just listening to how you guys conduct this part is so great. Don't mix casual with conversation. Okay.
The other part of it is, hey, Sophie, my job here is to find you the best coverage possible. So I'm going to need you to answer these questions exactly to the best of your knowledge, because then I'm going to go do my job and I'm going to help you protect you and your family. That being said, I'm going to need your height and weight first. Just straightforward to the point. If I act like it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. Okay. If I act like it's a big deal, right? Like it's there. I always say, hey, how many years young are you? And they go, what? But it gets them that way. I know they're listening. They're like, huh? I said, yeah. How many years young are you? Oh, haha, Trevor, I'm 72. Right. If it's Betty. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like the other one, here's the one that's going to crack the ice. Right. Sophie, wow. Hey, I have marked on here that you're currently 32 years old. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
I will tell you this, you sound like you're 25.
Yep.
Anybody you say that to that you just go down younger, hey, if she says she's 57, Sophie, I would have said you were 42 years old based upon the way you sound, young lady. Right? If she's in her 70s, I'm going to say she's in her early 60s. Right? If she's in her 60s, I'm going to say she's in her 50s. I'm going to drop it a decade. Like, and not to the exact number, but I'm going to be like, oh, you sound so young. I would have never guessed you're that age. And they're going to be, you know what? I'm in great shape and blah, blah, blah. But I'm a smoker who has COPD and I'm a type 2 diabetic, but I'm healthy. Right? But you see where I'm going with it there? Right? Like, do you feel more friendly connecting with someone that like says that than it's there? Right? Like if I get them on Zoom, I don't do a lot of Zoom, but if I get them on Zoom, I would be like, oh, hey, you don't look a day over 26. I would have never guessed you're 32 years old or whatever the age number is. Okay. Right. Like, and I don't like, I'm going to like do that because it makes them feel better. Okay. Another huge one for me is in the appointment. Once I do have them there, and I know we're talking about set it up, those that know me have heard me talk about this. My number one question I ask, and I won't move forward if they don't. If it is a couple, they have to tell me the story of how they met. So like I'll be like, Sam, hey, you know what? Here's the question I ask. You're actually required to answer it. This is as important as the health questions because I need to know the answer. You got to tell me the story of how you and Marissa met. And one of two things happens. They either chuckle because it's really funny and cute, okay? Or they just kind of, and I'm like, and I'll say, here's why. some of the best stories I've ever heard in my life is about a couple and the story. So, and I have some wild ones, like wild stories I've been told because I asked that question so much. But yeah, it's crazy. I happen to know some of Sam and Marissa's story, but like this is cheating here. But that side of it, hey, we knew that was there. But what'd that do? It took Sam back and Marissa back to an amazing place. It
Mhm.
made them remember why they love each other and why they met. And like when you're talking to a couple, even if it's a long time, like if they say that, right? If I got a couple that's been together since high school, I will be like, what was the outfit in high school you saw that it was like? What, where, and it depends on their age, right? Like, hey, were they wearing this? What was their hair like, right? Like, I want them to remember how it felt when they met that person they're trying to protect.
That's so good. Trevor, before I know we have a hard stop in a minute, but before we do that, can you and I role play real quick? You'll
Yep.
be my client first, and I just want to get into the emotion a little bit. I want you not to give me a lot of emotion, and I want to
Okay.
try to pull it out of you, and then maybe you can get some out of me. Does that sound
All right.
good?
I can do it.
So Trevor, because I know a lot of you guys work bonus leads, so let's talk about it. So Trevor, when you guys had sent in this form, made this request for the coverage, the mortgage protection that's going to help pay off the house if you become sick, disabled, or you pass away, who were you wanting to protect? Like, is this coverage mainly for you, for your spouse, or for both you guys?
They just said I had to call. The form said I needed to call, and that's what I did. I didn't know what I was calling.
Oh, man, I hate it when that happens. Sometimes my wife will call into and make me get stuff that I didn't know I was signing up for. So Trevor, let me ask you this. If you were to not come home from work tomorrow, how hard would it be for Mel?
Uh, Probably hard.
I know emotionally she'll probably be pretty distraught,
Yep.
but financially, how tight would things get?
Um, yeah, it would definitely, it would definitely be harder if I wasn't there.
Gotcha. What would she have to do to make sure that she could afford the house, the bills, the car, take care of the dog?
I don't know. We've never had that conversation.
Okay. How does that make you feel not having this protection in place?
Um, hadn't really thought about it.
Okay. So Trevor, most of my clients are in a very similar situation like you, where they haven't looked into this, but they know that one day we're all going to pass away, and they want to make sure their family's protected. And a lot of families I meet with that don't get this protection plan are in jeopardy of losing their home if they were to pass away or they couldn't be able to work. What's your biggest concern? Is it more if you can't work or if you were to pass away?
Probably both.
Okay, gotcha. So now I know that Mel doesn't work. Are we wanting to look at plans for just you or also for Mel?
Um, Probably just me for right now.
Okay, great. So here's what I can promise you. I can promise you this, Trevor, that I'm gonna leave you better than I found you. I'm gonna find a good solution to make sure that if you can't work, if you get sick, Mel does not have to worry about this house. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right. Trevor's way more elegant than me. Let's flip it. All right,
Yes.
Trevor, why don't you ask me the same questions?
All right. Cool. So, hey Sam, when you originally reached out to us, I saw the underwriter here. I don't know if they got back to you. Did they ever get you those options that would like took care of you if you ever lost your job and couldn't got sick and couldn't work or pay off your home? Did anybody ever get you those?
No.
I'm sorry about that. I'm the cleanup crew. That's why I'm here, and I apologize for that. But here's the best part. They save the best for last, as they say. So what I want to do here is I want to find out, would it be tough on your family financially if something were to happen to you? Could like they live for 6 months and keep making all the payments they're currently making?
Uh, Probably not. No. My wife's a stay-at-home mom, doesn't work. Don't have a lot saved up. No.
But that's the case for most families. 70% of Americans require two incomes or at least a sole provider in their household. And if they didn't have it for 90 days, the math says in 2025 they'd lose their house.
Okay.
So that's my job here is I want to make sure Marissa and your kids never have to worry about losing that house. What about if you couldn't go to work? You're young, you're in your late 30s here, pretty healthy guy. Would it be tough if, you got sick and you couldn't go to work?
I think my work has some type of policy that, if I get sick or something, but I would have to double check.
That's awesome. I'm a fan of work insurance. It's really inexpensive. The one huge challenge though is it's rental insurance, right? We just saw what happened at UPS. I work with a lot of UPS workers. They just laid off 45,000 people and all of them lost their insurance when they left. So most should take advantage when it's there, but let's talk about that. Now, if you couldn't work for those 6 months, if you had all your bills paid for and cash to go do what, you needed to be able to do, would that help put you guys in a better financial situation?
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Love it. Okay. And in this situation, do you and Marissa always make these decisions together, or is this something you make on your own?
Oh, no, I don't make any decision without her.
Yeah, me neither. Like I'm usually, Mel might tell me what I need to go do. Mel's
Well,
more like,
what if I say this, Trevor? Actually, Trevor, I make all the decisions.
yep. That's where I was hoping you go because
Yeah, I make all the decisions. Trevor,
yeah.
man, I wear the pants in this relationship.
Awesome. Well, I love it. But here's what I want. I want to make sure Marissa's there because my job isn't actually finished, Sam, until you guys get your money. And if something happens, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to call me. So I need her to know who I am. And that way she has all my info and she's aware that if something comes up, she doesn't have to call the call center and wait on hold for 3 hours. She gets to call me and I'm going to service you. That's the advantage I have being a broker. Okay. So is today before 5 or after 5 better for both of you to get together with me?
Before 5 is great.
I love it. Wow, I'm slammed today. I could squeeze you in at 2:15 or 3:30. Which one of those could you commit to?
3:30 is best. Is after we pick up the kids from school. We should be around.
Should be or can't? That's something you can promise you're going to be able to come to.
We'll have to. We might be. Yeah, I'll make it happen, Trevor. I'll be there.
I love it. Right, because I promise I'm going to show up for you and Marissa and your family, and I'm going to bring you the best options that are available. I just want to make sure that you can keep that same promise.
So good. Don't take that weak language. That should be okay. That should work. Like the should, it means no show. Should equals no show.
Yep. And that's, yeah, it's there. And how do you get there? Just go run a lot of appointments. Even if you don't sell them, right? The more you fail forward faster, like, yeah, I should. Like if I hear I should, what I should means, it means I should schedule another appointment at that time because they're not going to show up. That's what I should mean, right? If you hear I should, you're probably going to get them out of there. So, take advantage of that. It's, as we keep working, the more people you can get to show up, the more will help. So